The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles? Who should the Jets pick with the number 2 pick in the NFL draft? We're breaking down the film on both prospects. Joe Blewett from JetX will join me, plus T'Vondre Sweat, the latest Jet. Let's break down some film on him as well. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish it could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Smash the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who tuned into our first show today. We had a great interview with ESPN Jets reporter Rich Cimini. We're going to have some great content on the channel all month long, leading right into the draft, of course, at the end of next month. Tomorrow kicks off ASMANIAC Madness, so fill out your ASMANIAC Madness bracket if you have not yet done so. The bracket pool locks at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, so get your picks in. The play-in tournament will get underway on our first show tomorrow morning. Carlos the Barber and Cash Money Mike bat in the leadoff spot. With that, let's say hello to a good friend of the show. He is balancing film breakdowns and dealing with a newly born. It's our guy, Joe Blewett, who joins us now over at JetX. What's up, Joe?
You know what's going on. I showed you the video prior to this. I'm holding 2 kids in my arms as they're both screaming. So I'm very excited to talk football. Sorry for the lateness. I know Jake had some difficulties pre-show, but we're here. I'm excited to talk football. No more kids.
Well, it's funny. There was lateness for 2 reasons. The first was I scheduled the show to start at 3 Eastern by accident instead of 4. And then the second lateness was my StreamYard was broken and I sounded like a robot off air. So apologies for being a few minutes late. But Joe, thanks for being here.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm definitely more excited to talk about football than deal with screaming children. So this is the most exciting time of the year with all the free agents and rumors and stuff going on in the draft. It's also the most frustrating time for me with like just talking about some people with prospects and stuff. Gets a little bit wild, but
you don't love the fact that everyone's now a draft expert?
Yes. There are thousands and thousands of them on Twitter. As long as you can clip a play and put it up, you are now an expert. So, and there are people who are way better out there than I am. So I don't want to like gas myself up, but yeah, some of the Twitter stuff, you see guys with like 30 followers who are putting out plays and claiming expert. Yeah, it's brutal on the Twitter streets right now with the who sucks, who's good, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, who's a bust, all that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, we will talk certainly about some of these prospects in a bit. We'll get your thoughts on the combine. And as people could see in the thumbnail, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, the 2 stars from the Buckeye defense, we'll be breaking down some film on them. But Joe, let's start with the trade the Jets made last week. Jermaine Johnson getting sent to the Titans for T'Vondre Sweat. It feels like there's some mixed opinions on the type of player the Jets are getting in T'Vondre Sweat. So we're going to break down some film that you were kind enough to put together. Give us your thoughts on Sweat before you even did any film work. You remember looking at him as a prospect just a couple of years ago when he was coming out of Texas.
Yeah, one of the bigger prospects you're really ever going to see, dominated at Texas. But it's basically like, hey, how early do you want to draft a guy who's exclusively a run stuffer? They ended up drafting him in the 2nd round, which might have been a little bit of a reach. But after the trade, you hear all these Titans fans like, oh, lazy, can't rush the passer, all that stuff. And I looked into it, and he's not a guy who's going to get you 10 sacks, but he can get you 3 to 5, maybe 6 sacks in some years in certain situations. So he's a guy who provides a little bit of pass rush, can push the pocket a little bit, is a dominant run stuffer. stuffer, right? He's 6'3", 6'4", 366, so he's a mountain. But he also moves pretty well. So I also didn't see, and I'm going to show you some plays of like effort plays that he made. I didn't see lack of effort. Now that could obviously be on the field, that could be off the field, it could be late to meetings, whatever it may be. But on the field, I saw no lack of effort, minus like every once in a while you're gonna gas out at 366. It's natural. Q gassed out on some plays at 310, so it happens. So I like the player a lot. You save $11 million. He's a better fit. You get a year of control. You save $11 million. They just tagged Brees. $3 million difference there. So I like the way that Muji is building this roster, the trades he's making, the negotiation of the money around the roster. I think he's doing a really good job right now.
Like hearing that. So let's get into some film. And then again, for those sticking around for the Reese and Sonny Styles breakdowns, we will be doing that. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Let me shout out my guy, Derek, the Jet fan, who was the first to gift a membership during today's show. Derek, thank you. Here's what we're playing for on today's show. A Jets Legends jersey. You pick the player you want. Joe Namath, Joe Klecko, Curtis Martin, Wayne Corbett, Darrell Revis, Nick Mangold, or Keyshawn Johnson are your choices. Derek, you're the first to do it. Appreciate your support as always. All right, Joe, whenever you're ready, let's get to some sweat plays, and then we'll get to some prospect breakdowns as we always do every Tuesday. We now can officially see your screen, so set this one up for us.
Yeah, I'm really excited to actually like talk about the guys we end up that we do land. Free agency starts next Monday, right? So maybe by next show we'll have some signings and things like that, or reported signings. I don't get the point of the legal negotiating period, wherever the hell it is.
Right,
which is
legal
weird,
tampering, but if it's legal, it's not tampering. So
yes, exactly. So why not just make it 2 days earlier? But yeah, so Sweat, I'm going to show you 2 plays in the run, 2 plays in the pass, 2 plays with effort, and then we'll move on from Sweat. I'm gonna do them pretty quickly because we're doing a large amount of plays today just because of the amount of players we're doing. Sweat's right here as a one technique, and I'll watch the play, then we'll talk about it a little bit after. Good recognition in the run game. And in general with him, if you're trying to block him one-on-one, good luck moving him. And if not that, just getting completely shed by him. So a few things here. As he comes off the ball, right, the motion from the H-back, you're going to notice that in conjunction with the pull right here from the guard, you see him moving to the play side. The guard pulling in combination with a block that's working back to you. The run is most likely going to Tavondre Sweat's left, and he knows that. So anchors down, nice leverage, hands inside on the center, stands him up, is able to get full extension. Eyes in the backfield on the running back, sees the running back's obviously working laterally and away from Sweat. Sweat pulls himself through, makes the tackle. It looks so easy for him sometimes in run stuffing situations, and he doesn't even like move fast all the time or doesn't look like that twitchy, but he is just so damn strong, and we'll see some plays of his upper body strength. It is quite absurd. So again, we'll run through them pretty quickly, especially with the run game, because people know what it is with this one or with him in the run game. This one's even better. He's a one tech right here. Same situation. Center is blocking back to him. Guard is pulling, which is going to key you off. Hey, run is going to my left here. And he tosses the center to the ground with the one hand here. So we'll play it. And then we'll talk about just, again, the technique here, how powerful he is. Doesn't come off the ball as low here. Doesn't always matter for him if he gets caught in the chin because of how strong he is. Hands land inside on the center, which is great. Gets extension. Fully extended with the left arm. The right arm's not even attached right now. Torques him to the ground with that right arm completely free. Squares up the running back, brings down the running back, right? So you're talking about a 305-pound, 310-pound center, 300-pound, whatever the hell he is. But being able to stack him and toss him aside literally to his knees with one hand is impressive. So this is the stuff you're getting from Sweat in the run game, which is something everybody expected, right? Like if he's 366 and he can't do this stuff, what the hell are we doing? But in the pass game, this is where I was a little bit more surprised with Sweat. And I put up a highlight, little like film thing on my Twitter. He's the one tech right here. We'll watch it first and then we'll talk about it. Now, he's not always the most explosive off the snap, but I do think he can be a little bit twitchy once he gets going, and he has decent speed for his size. But this is an excellent pass rush by him. Step up towards the A gap. You notice that the guard is sliding towards you. So the guard is going to be primarily responsible for that as the center starts to look opposite of you, right? Times the hands, double swipe, right? Good hand usage, double swipes the hands of the guard. Now he's leaning forward with no contact, makes him off balance, penetrates through that A gap, arm over, is now pushing off of the guard's ass, for lack of a better term. clears the center's arm as well, chases on Drake May, right? So I turn this on, like, this guy can't pass rush at all. Like, this is what people are saying. And that's not just like, this is not just an effort play, a luck play, anything like that. Like, that's legitimately good hand usage and some decent explosion for a guy who's 366, right? Like, we got to watch a guy who's 366 versus 300 versus 250. And there has to be different like expectations in terms of level of explosion. And that's good for a guy his size. So look at one more, Creed Humphrey. He is one of the better centers in the NFL here, and he beats him badly one-on-one. Now, the ball is out so quick in like a three. It's like an abbreviated 3-step drop. It's not even a full 3-step drop. So he can't get there. That's not the point. It's just like, okay, he just absolutely whooped Creed Humphrey's ass on this play, which is awesome to see. So I don't know if it's based on, you'd have to ask Sweat. I don't know if it's based on film study that he knows that he's going to potentially punch with two hands here, or it's a thing where throughout the game, he kept two-hand punching him. So comes off the ball, chops down on both arms. Now the right hand the right hand lands a little bit. The left hand doesn't land, but it still gives him inside hand positioning. Now Creed Humphrey's going to go for a ride, right? Because you have Sweat with one hand wide and another hand somewhere wide to the left side here, and you're giving up control of your chest. Good luck. He has one of the more powerful clubs you're ever going to see. So all he's doing is clubbing here, and look at the reaction from Humphrey. Like, look how strong this dude is. It is absurd. Again, gets pressure on the quarterback, ball is out so quickly. Doesn't matter to me. He just beat one of the better centers in the NFL very cleanly on a pass rush move. So like that. Moving into some of the effort stuff that I saw from him. So he's a one tech right here, and they run a screen to the left side of the screen, if you can see the cursor. And this is just an effort play. There's really not much to break down here. Does a good job initially stacking, right? Nice base, lower, so that's good. Looks inside, feels that it's going to be a screen, identifies the screen, chases it down, right? Like, so not a low effort play from him. This is a high effort thing for a guy who's 366 chasing down Woody Marks on that screen. So good job by Sweat. And I have one more not lack effort play for you from Sweat. If you can't tell where he is on this play, I can't help you. But he's the one tech, right? So another play here where the run goes wide, and it's a play where Sweat, to me, is showing effort, right? Like, this is not a play that guys on the backside always make, right? Stacks his guy, sees that the run is going wide, chases on, showing some of the speed, trying to deliver that not a late hit, but a hit at the last second to make ETN feel it a little bit. So didn't see the lack of effort. There's some pass rush there. The run stuffing is incredible with Sweat. He could have anchored down a little bit better at times, like just be better prepared for it and stuff. But that's it. Nice little abbreviated Sweat review. Elite run stuffer. Pretty solid in the pass game. I don't think he's ever going to give you anything more than maybe 5, 6 sacks in a year. But from a guy who's 366, sign me up. Effort stuff, didn't see it on tape. Again, meeting rooms, I can't attest, right? Like, I have no idea. I'm not there.
Sounds like you like this deal then from a value standpoint.
Yeah, he right now he's a much better nose tackle than JJ is a D end, and I like JJ, and I like the mentality and the grit and whatever else. But at the end of the day, he had 3-4 sacks last year. His pass rush is very predictable. Like, his pass rush plan, he pretty much only double swipes. Bull rush wasn't really there this year, and he can't do it as well at the NFL level because his speed isn't really there to set up speed to power. One more year of control doesn't fit the system, right? Like, if we are playing more of a 3-4, it's going to be hybrid, all that stuff. I get it, but in a base 3-4, where does he fit? He's not big enough to be a D end. I don't think he's athletic enough where he can really drop into coverage as an outside linebacker. So he's kind of like exclusively a 4-3 end. So they I didn't see how it was going to fit anyway. So to get 2 more years of control, $11 million, and a better player at their position, sign me up.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Good breakdown there on the newly acquired T'Vondre Sweat. So now that we talked about a current Jet, let's maybe talk about a future Jet. We have 2 prospects that we're going to break down as we continue our weekly prospect review with our guy Joe Blewett. Today, we're breaking down a pair of Buckeye defenders. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe, right now, the betting favorite to go number 2 to the New York Jets in the NFL draft is the guy that we're going to break down first. That is Arvell Reese. He's minus 120 right now. He's ahead of David Bailey. And the guy we're going to break down after we do Reese is Sonny Styles at plus 3,300. Now, Styles had an unbelievable combine, so we'll get into the discussion whether or not he is in play at 2, but certainly Reese is. So whenever you're ready, let's break down some Arvell Reese film.
Yeah. And Reese, like you said, had an excellent combine. Some of those like drills showing off the ability to turn the corner. Just looks like a freak, is a freak. Again, 20 years old, where Bailey is what, 22, 23. I know you mentioned his name. So what will Reese be in 2 years, right? That's kind of the question you have to ask. Like if you're dominating at 22, 23, a little bit different than dominating some guys at 22. So we already did a film review on Reese. So I try to include completely different plays. I'll show 2 plays that are the same with pass rush if people even remember them or care. But we'll show all different plays. So these aren't the highlight plays, but they're still really good. So Reese right here playing as an edge, right? This is a type of a set you could see in a 3-4 defense with 3 down linemen, 2 stand-up backers, right? He's on the weak side right here. We'll watch it. And this is something that, again, it's not the sexiest play in the world, but I think this is something that's a little bit under discussed with Reese, is how much he can help in this aspect of the run game, where guys like both Bain and Bailey. Now, Bailey's an athletic guy, but he's tight, and you could see that, like that wave drill, he kept slipping. He just doesn't have like the best ankle flexion, and just he has some lower body stiffness. So I don't know how well he's going to be able to consistently make plays in the open field. Same thing for Bain. You know, he's a good athlete, but he's not the best athlete, especially laterally. And there's a lot of plays like this at the NFL level, right? Jet sweeps, end arounds, pin and pulls to the outside zone. So Reese does a really good job of just pinching down on the tackle, right? So he wants to eat up some of that space. He wants to stay square. Eyes are in the backfield, sees the exchange point between the running back and the quarterback, widens. Running back gears it down. He has the athleticism to gear it down as well. Running back tries to get him to gear it down to reaccelerate outside. Reese also reaccelerates outside, wraps him up. I believe it's a tackle for loss, right? He tackles him behind this line. Yeah, behind the line. So tackle for loss for Reese there in the open field, which I think is an under-discussed part of his game in terms of just making those plays in space, which I don't think Bain or Bailey can do as well. So this one is stand-up blocker on the edge again. I want to include some edge plays here. Okay, so this is, again, a spot you can see him with the Jets to the left side of your screen. And 16 is in motion, and he's trying to, with full speed, or not full speed, but some good speed behind that block, kick out Reese. And Reese does a good job of just lowering his shoulder against 16, nice and low, working off the outside instep, stands up 16, absorbs some contact, hand on the back, throws 16 by, is there to help assist with a tackle on 13, who's actually a pretty good player in his own right. I believe his name is Allen, but really good job by Reese standing up the blocker right there and then making the tackle in the backfield. Tackle in space again from him. Same kind of situation as the first play. This one's to the left side, but 24 is going to try to put some moves on him in the open field. And you can just see the athleticism of Reese, where it's going to be really hard to get away from him in the open field. What do you run, Jake? Was it a 4.46, right? 4.47. So good athleticism, good bendiness, good twitch, all that stuff. So again, pinching down, surfs it a little bit, as you say, shuffles in, pinching down, sees the ball is handed off wide, tracks down the running back in the open field, is doing a really good job of controlling his feet, staying square, right? Not overcommitting inside, not overcommitting outside, letting the running back dictate what he's going to do in this situation. Gear down, tackle in the backfield, another tackle for loss. Again, an area that will help him a ton, or help the Jets a ton at the NFL level.
That's what people don't talk enough about with Reese. With Bailey, it's he's the pass rusher, the polished thing, but Reese is so much better as an all-around football player than Bailey is. If you just want sack numbers, okay, you could argue Bailey, that's fine. But every time I've watched Reese with you, Robbie Sabo put out some great clips, which I plan on showing at some point on future shows when he comes on. Like I just see a football player when I watch Reese.
He can do everything, dude. Like he can, and again, I don't want him dropping into coverage at all. Or very much, he should be rushing the passer really 90-95% of the time, but he could spy. He can match up with a running back, a tight end. He could drop back into an intermediate zone. He could drop back into zones on some simulated pressures where maybe they're sending some extra attention his way, and then he drops back into coverage, and the protection's all jacked up. He can rush the passer. Again, he's 20 years old too. Like, give him 2 more years of development and see how much of a stud this dude would be. And again, I'm adding 10-15 pounds to him. I'm not playing him at 241 on the edge. He's going to be 250, 255 eventually in my mind. So, and the thing with Bailey too is, and I like Bailey. Like, I don't think you have to push other prospects down to elevate the prospect you like, right? Like I like Bailey as well. But Bailey, there's times where I watched him and I did the film review on him where he's beating guys with pure athleticism. And you're not going to be able to do that at the NFL level. Now he does have some moves, but they're not always so technically refined. So I don't think Bailey's like if Bailey's automatically some 15 sack guy, then yeah, draft him. But to act like he's just some surefire lock to get 10 plus sacks a year is also a mistake. Okay. So he takes on a pulling blocker here on the edge. Again, this is another edge. He's not playing linebacker or nothing like that, or stand-up linebacker. If you want to call him stand-up, he's have his hand in the dirt, fine. But this is exactly what you can see in Aaron Glenn's defense and how they'll use him on the strong side. And he does another good job here. Like you have a pulling guard who probably outweighs him by 60, 70 pounds, lowers his helmet against the pulling blocker, right? Does a really good job with the base, leaning into the block, taking on with aggression, hands inside. There's some knockback there from the guard, but he's able to stand up the guard immediately, like hop off the left foot. You have like a hop step 1, 2, flattens, takes on the running back, makes a tackle, right? So again, 240, what happens when this guy is 23 years old and 250, 255, So impressive to say the least for him. I'll do 2 more of the run game and I'll do 2 of the pass game. This is one of him standing up a block on the second level. So now he is playing as a stand-up linebacker here, which I think he should very rarely do unless they plan on blitzing him. And in general with Reese, if you're going to draft him, you could play him at linebacker standing up. You could play him at edge. That's fine. But he needs to be playing with everything in front of him. Do not ask him to drop back into coverage. It's not his strong suit. He's not good at it. Closes ground to that C gap. Looks like he's responsible for that C gap in the run game. On this play, you have the tackle who pulls up to this or who works up to the second level. Reese lands the hands inside, lands the hands first. Really nice wide base right there from Reese. Stands up the NFL, or not the NFL offensive lineman, the lineman who outweighs him by 60, 70 pounds, drives towards the C gap. Running back cuts it inside. He's able to shed the block, pull himself through, and then free up the left arm and get in on the tackle. So again, being outweighed by 60, 70 pounds. So I don't have an issue with him playing edge, especially if he gains weight. Stand up, pull in on tackle. Left side of your screen right here is Reese. I think this might be the one that Robbie potentially just put up. I didn't watch it either. I did not have a free 13 minutes, so I couldn't watch it. But he does a really good job here. Again, taking on the puller where they're running guard trap, and
this was what he posted. I watched it. Yep. Okay, yeah. So I'm curious. I'm gonna be on a similar level to him here, but he takes on with aggression, right? I'm assuming this is some type of run situation that he's playing this so aggressively, but takes on with aggression. He doesn't penetrate too far into the backfield and then take it on, so he doesn't want to leave a gap here, so he takes it on, at a flat angle, which is great with aggression. Again, same foot, same shoulder is a really powerful spot to be in. Left foot lands, left foot shoulder lands. Good leverage into it. Nice tight arm angle into the hip area. Stands up 73, again, who outweighs him by however many pounds, is able to free up the outside half or the left half of his body and make the tackle on the running back, right? So he's just a specimen. He really is. And again, if he were to go back to college for a year or two, I think he'd be surefire number 1 overall pick minus the quarterbacks. Then I'll show you 2 in the pass game really quickly, and we'll transition to some Sonny Styles. 8 right here on the edge. I showed this play a couple of weeks ago, but I'll show the 2 pass rush reps I have again. And this one, he's playing with a little bit of pacing, which I love. So it shows some nuance here against the Penn State left tackle. And you can see how he comes off the ball kind of slow, and he kind of slow plays it, tackles nice and comfortable, right? Reese then accelerates with a hard jab step inside on the tackle, makes the tackle think, oh crap, a bull rush is coming. You can see the tackle kind of throw his hips back and anticipating a bull rush. Reese times it, leaping cross chop, rip, and then is able to close on the quarterback, who then obviously gets out. But obviously hell of a rush there from Reese playing with the pacing and good hand usage. One more play. Let's see, sack, stand up right here. And again, you can use him in this way. I don't care if he's blitzing A gap, B gap, C gap, delayed blitz, whatever it is, blitz them, send them home to the quarterback. That's what you should be doing. So regardless of where exactly it's from, most likely the edge, 80, 85, 90% of the time, get fancy some other reps.
but does a good job here. Obviously, you're seeing some of that speed, with the 4.46 speed here. Win the edge on 66. 66 tries to get a hand on Reese at the last second. He's reaching a little bit, not the best feet there from the tackle, but Reese, again, another chop. You see some of the bend here from Reese, the ability to corner. You saw that at the combine, some ankle flexion. People aren't going to love even me saying that, but it's actually important. It's something that's underrated. When you're bending, think about it. Like your shin is at a like a diagonal angle, whatever angle it is exactly. If your foot can't kind of separate from your ankle and stay flat to the ground, and you have stiff ankles, you're going to slip because you don't have your cleats in the ground, right? So that's why people talk about ankle flexion. Your shin has to be at an opposite angle than your foot. So ankle flexion there, ability to corner, sack on the quarterback. So quick one on Reese, but that is some Reese for the second time.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do it. That is a breakdown by Joe Blewett. You won't find this anywhere else unless you go to Joe's content with JetX. Then you'll find it there too, which I highly recommend. Everyone checks it out. A couple super chats, then we'll get to Sonny Styles, who I'm very excited to see your breakdown on, because I love the player. I'm just kind of iffy whether or not you could take him as high as 2, but we'll get into that coming up. But first, a super chat from Adam, who writes in, need a funny jersey swap suggestion for Sweat. I'll start with Mark. So you want Tavondre Sweat to swap jerseys with someone with the last name Marks. So the image on the screen says Sweat Marks. Am I following, Adam? Did I pick up on what you're putting down? I'll try and come up with something for you, Adam. All right. I'm sure the chat could help you out with that one. Shooter says, I just submitted my ASMANIAC Madness picks, and I got Beast going the distance. How about that? He's got Beast going the distance as a #1 seed in his region. Kyle Clifton in the raffle for 2 says, I guess just call me Styles Clifton. From one linebacker to another, Kyle Clifton checking in. We got a super chat from Pat Godak. Pat, thank you. You're on our raffle for 2. Let's get to your question now. Whatever the Jets do, they get laughed at. Tag Brees or quarterback choice. I'm in the Midwest, so everyone's brutal, LOL. My goal is to win one of these raffles before the season starts. Pat, good luck. Look, the only way the Jets can change the narrative is by winning. No individual move is going to win people over. We had Aaron Rodgers for crying out loud, and that didn't work. So they just got to make smart moves and win games. That's ultimately how you change the narrative of the LOL Jets.
Yeah. Dude, like with the Brees thing, I'm really hoping that they can work out a long-term deal, right? Because for me, I was leaning more transition tag with him just because I didn't think he would get over that $14 million a year by another team. Now I know there was some talk like, oh, another team can make the contract really tricky, so the Jets can't match. But the Jets have so much money that I can't see a situation where they couldn't match the contract. So I am hoping that they can extend him, because for me, like, what is the point of Brees in 2026? We're not going anywhere. So I'm hoping that Brees is here for another 2 or 3 years for the next quarterback to develop. Because this year, if he's playing with Derek Carr, Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton, whatever it's most likely going to be, like, what is the point? So I'm really hoping that they are able to extend him. And I had a question too, that you're talking about the ASMANIAC tournament, which I filled out my bracket as well.
I was going to ask you, did you fill out a bracket?
Is there a prize if you win that? And is it decided by like each win? I'm assuming it's each win, like the March Madness thing, right? So
same exact scoring format. If you get a round right, you get a point, and each round the points increase. And yes, you do get a prize. Top 3, right? If you win the pool, Nick Mangold signed jersey. Second place, Darrelle Revis signed helmet. Third place, Wayne Corbett signed helmet. So yes, you can win prizes in the ASMANIAC Madness bracket pool.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I should give away my pick or anything like that, but it's kind of hard when you're filling it out, because I know some guys are polarizing, and I think polarizing can get you to a certain point, but then half the chat's going to like you, half the chat is going to hate you. So I went a little bit safer with my winner, but I'm interested to see how it turns out for sure.
Hell yeah. 133 people have filled out a bracket so far. You have till tomorrow. Stop what you're doing and join the bracket pool, people. You do not want to miss out on a tournament of a lifetime, the ASMANIAC Madness Tournament of Champions. All right, Mr. Blewett, let me get to this one super chat here from Uno. It says, love the breakdown. Shout out to you, Uno. I know Joe and I appreciate everyone who tunes into our content. Got you down in our raffle for 2. And by the way, folks, don't forget, every daily raffle, you automatically are qualified for the weekly series of prizes we give away on the show. This Friday, we have the following 4 items I'm going to give away to listeners: Curtis Martin signed jersey, Darrelle Revis signed helmet, Chad Pennington signed helmet, and 4 prizes this week: a Super Bowl III replica ticket framed display. That is all up for grabs in our raffle on Friday. All right, we did Arvell Reese. We've already done Caleb Downs. Now let's do the guy that maybe had the most impressive combine of any prospect, the Ohio State linebacker, Sonny Styles. Joe, here we go.
Yeah, just an absolute alien, right? He had like a 43 vertical too. So ridiculous. Jake, did you see the picture of him and his like dad floating around? I don't know if you saw that, but his dad is an absolute savage as well.
I did see that. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's AI because he literally looks like Ronnie Coleman, but like a bigger in terms of like stature, Ronnie Coleman. So just ridiculous. But yeah, he's a freak, dude. So, and he's so new to the position. There's really not a ton of weaknesses. Like there can be sometimes he ducks his head a little bit, gets lost in traffic. And there are some like minor flaws with this game if you're going to be nitpicky. But for a guy who just transitioned to linebacker from safety 2 years ago, he makes some ridiculous plays. So this one, he's standing up right here. And we're going to watch him shoot the C gap right here. And I believe he's responsible for the C gap right here. He sees the motion come and he believes the ball is going to be handed off there, and he shoots the gap and makes a tackle for a loss. This is a ridiculous play from him. Just shooting a shot and being confident in his eyes here. And it's just a play with like really natural instincts from him, where he's, 5 yards off the ball right now, 6 yards off the ball. He sees that motion keyed off either by a play earlier in the game, film study, whatever it may be, Miami tendencies, that this ball is going to be handed off on this jet sweep. Again, is responsible for that C gap and knows that this run has been going wide. So the only way he's going to make a play on this, if he's shooting that C gap, is to do it immediately, because if it's delayed, he's not going to get there. So shoots that gap, gets skinny, lowers his shoulder versus the tackle who tries to get a hand on him, but he's pushing through with so much speed and power that he's not able to really slow him down. Cuts off the receiver, gets a hand in front of his neck, wraps him up. You're talking about what, a loss of 3-4 yards right there from Styles. So excellent job shooting his shot, and then his athleticism takes over. So it's not just a thing where he's athletic, he's also very, very smart at times as well. So obviously that's an awesome play, right? I don't really have to tell you much more past that. So this is one in coverage, not the sexiest play in the world, but something I want to see from a linebacker. Do they robot technique if they creep up a little bit? And really what a robot technique is, it just allows you to play some run fits. You're going to approach the line of scrimmage. If it is a play action, you're taught to, typically, not in every situation, turn around. You're going to look towards the passing strength, which is the top of the screen, because we got a 3x1, and he's going to look and match the first thing crossing his face. So you're going to see him robot here. Again, not the sexiest, but something you need to have in coverage. And this is something that the Jets got absolutely roasted in last year, was guys not doing this. So when I see Reese, when I see Styles do it, it excites me. Okay, so watch him right here. Again, not the sexiest play in the world, but bites up a little bit in the run game. Immediately robots. He's going to find this crossing route from the top, matches it, gets under it, shuts it down. Where if this is the Jets, you have Sherwood creep up, backpedal, cover grass, and then this is a route that's thrown right behind them. That's just how it happened 1,000 times with the Jets. So
was there a defense worse off play action than the Jets of this past season?
You're talking about Ohio State's defense?
No, I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever seen a defense that was bad against play action quite like how bad the Jets defense of this past year was.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. It was horrific. And it felt bad at a certain. I felt not even bad at a certain point, but like it got so just repetitive, right? Like I came on the show every single week and we just absolutely smashed the defense, and it's not even fun to do. But yeah, they were horrific. So the fact that he could do that, and he knows how to do that is excellent. Let's see. Let's play 10. A gap patient cutback. Okay, so he's right here. He's going to be responsible for the A gap on this play. Everybody's responsible for their gaps. So it's going to look like you got A gap, B gap. Somebody's going to be playing the C and then the edge. And you have Styles, who plays this with a lot of patience right here. They're running. Looks like it's just going to be an inside zone there. And instead of just like pushing up the field and trying to duck his head into traffic and things like that, he plays it really patiently. One, his size helps, right? He's 6'4". What are you weighing or measuring it? Was it 6'4"? So he has the height to see over some linebackers, right? Playing the run nice and patiently, not being overzealous.
37.
He's what?
6'4", 237, I'm seeing.
237. Okay, yeah. So some solid weight, and then obviously, I think actually at the combine he might have actually weighed in more than that, Jake. It might have been like 240 plus. I could be wrong, but that might be an old measurement. But maybe
You're
wrong.
probably right because I'm looking at Dom C's draft guide. I don't know if he updated it post combine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he might have actually been like 6'5", 242 or something like that. When people are like, "Damn!" So he's taller and heavier than we thought, which is excellent. So plays around with patience, right? Inside zone is not going to be overzealous. Feels the cutback coming, right? Because there's a lot of traffic over here. So you could see him he's working back to that cutback lane before the running back even does, because he knows that's most likely where he's going. Like, look whose hips flip first into that gap. Styles is there before the running back even thinks about going there, fills that backside gap, squares him up, brings him down in the backfield for a tackle for a loss. Blitz force hold. This is just some of the aggression he has. He's blitzing from the right side of your screen right here. Which, by the way, this was so annoying watching Ohio State because 0 and 8 look very similar at times. But this is Styles. This is not Styles.
And they both have changed their numbers too, Joe. If you go back and watch their older film, they're wearing different numbers too. Because like that confused me as well when I Googled like their names for the thumbnail images. It's like Styles. One of them used to wear 6, and then one of them, they each have changed their numbers. So that's also confusing too if you watch older clips from this season.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest pains in the ass is like when a guy's with the same numbers, or like if you're watching receivers, you're hoping they're a different skin tone, or at least they're wearing like different socks or different shoes or different gloves. You can tell exactly who it is when you're 30,000 feet in the air or whatever. So Lemon was really hard like that because all the receivers kind of look the same. But nonetheless, 0 from the right side of the screen right here. And this is just aggression. Like, oh, he didn't get home. He forced the hold. That's a win for me, right? So you have 42 working across the formation, looking for any blitzers off that side. Styles, who I do think he needs to work on his pass rush repertoire a little bit, but he's a guy who could drop back into coverage and zone, drop back into man coverage. He could blitz. He could play the run really well. He could be an edge rusher. Now he's not going to be an edge rusher a lot, but he could blitz off the edge, no doubt, right? Running back comes to pick him up, or whoever it is, H-back, tight end, lowers his shoulder into him, trucks him over, dude's on a ride, and now it's just I got to hold on for dear life. Tackles Styles. Obviously, the ref's going to see it, throws the flag, draws the penalty. So nearly as good as a sack on that one, minus the loss of downs. So aggressive versus block. He's on the second level right here. And the good thing about him too, in terms of like blocks, is he doesn't just slip blocks. He also takes them on with aggression at times, which I do love. So on this play, right, everybody, offensive line, all zone steps. He matches the zone steps of the offensive line. Is it the center? The center works up to him pretty much immediately. So instead of like this run is wide, right? So instead of like stringing this out and slow playing the block, he takes it on with aggression. So he kind of more so dictate to the play, to the offensive lineman, to the running back, what's going to happen, instead of like being passive and let them dictate. So instead of getting fancy, lowers his shoulder, lowers his helmet, gets both hands inside on 53, stands him up. Eyes immediately snap into the backfield to find the running back again. Finds the running back, breaks down in space, makes the tackle. So I like to see that too. Like, hey, do you just slip blocks, or can you also take on blocks as well? Ability to take up on a block right there. 2 more plays quickly. Styles man rep in the bottom. I want to see more of this. There's like him split out wide and man reps. And if he is drafted by the Jets, I will watch every single game, probably from the last 2 years, where on these reviews, I watched like 5 or 6 games, just lack of time. But he's right here in man coverage on the tight end. And I wouldn't have him playing on like slot receivers or anything like that necessarily, but running backs, tight ends, a rep here or there in the slot, fine. But you could see some of the coverage ability here in terms of just staying square, staying patient. The tight end stems him to the inside. He's trying to get Sonny Styles to be afraid of the inside release and open up the hips to the inside. But he does a good job shuffling, staying square, right? Because if you open yourself up to the inside, you're going to be susceptible to cuts to the outside, whatever it may be. So stay square, shuffle to cut off his angle. He starts to break down. So does Styles, gets the right hand into the chest of the tight end, is able to carry him. And it is a good job here. He's not really, it looks like he's grabbing, but he's not really tugging. He has both sides of the hips. So now he could feel the route. He could see the route, and he runs the route for that tight end. Like, look how tight he is to that route. Like, there's no window to throw that ball. Now, how good is 87 on what looks like Penn State? I don't necessarily know. So I do want to see more man reps from him. But from what I saw, it was pretty damn good. Last play here. again against Penn State. This is just him not falling for some eye candy. There's a motion here, like a jet motion or orbit motion, whatever it is, jet motion. And you can see initially he starts to work towards it. He starts to work towards that jet motion, but then because of some keys of the offensive line, he works back towards the C gap. So doesn't fall for the candy. Starts to work that way, but sees everybody else working opposite. So okay, they're probably trying to sell us that it's a jet sweep or an end around. Works back inside. The tight end comes to block him. Again, nice wide base, low, hands inside, stands up the blocker, snaps the eyes into the backfield, finds the running back, closes ground, delivers a shot. So there's really not much he can't do. The question with him is, do you draft a linebacker at 2 overall, right? That's kind of the problem. But I love him as a prospect too. I think he's number 4 overall on my board. So on my board, like, I hate saying that, but he is. So if they were to draft him at 2, it would be kind of crazy, but I would understand it with how much of an alien this dude is.
All right, give us the 3 guys in front of him on the Joe Blewett big board.
Yeah, so mine right now, it's Reese 1, Tate 2, which people think is crazy, whatever. I don't care about the numbers. He did not. How often is he going to take off from a 3-point stance and run a 40 at the NFL level? It doesn't happen. Like, he's so damn smooth. So Tate is 2. Downs is 3, but I'm not sure. Have you been able to look into any of the reports about like the degenerative issue? Or
Nonsense.
Okay,
Absolute nonsense.
Okay, so nonsense. So he's 3, and then Styles is 4. I think no. So Styles is 4. Lemon's 5, and then Bain and Bailey are 6 and 7 for me.
Bain ahead of Bailey.
I have Bailey ahead of Bain.
Bailey ahead of Bain.
I was teetering, dude. But like, listen, historical outliers in terms of numbers, or historical outliers in terms of numbers. So if we're gonna do it with Simpson, we got to apply it a little bit to Bain and those arms, and they're close though. They're close. I just think Bain falls probably to more the 8 to 15, 16, 18, 15 range probably.
Give it up for Joe Blewett in the chat. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I did pull up, by the way, the official height and weight on Sonny Styles. 6'5", with weighing in at 244, 32 and 7/8 arms. I mean, the guy's a freak.
Do you know how ridiculous it is to have that size, to jump as high as he did, as far as he did, to run as fast as he did? Like an absolute alien of a
43 and a half inch vertical jump.
Stupid. That is beyond ridiculous. I don't think people can really quantify that. Like, you don't understand how high that is, but you actually watch, like, that is ridiculous leaping ability. So there's some basketball highlights of him floating out there on Twitter. I believe he was yamming on guys in high school too. So if you want to check those out, but yeah, he's a ridiculous athlete. And again, I believe, let me just double check. He's 4 on my board. So if they took him, it would be kind of crazy, but this draft is not the strongest draft at the top. Like, we can all acknowledge that. There's not like the Malik Neighbors of the world and stuff like that, or Abdul Carters. So in a draft class like this, guys like him get elevated, where in draft classes of the past, maybe he's comfortably 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pick. In this draft, I could see him going 3, 4, maybe potentially 2, but I probably doubt it.
Hit the like button if you haven't already. Ladies and gentlemen, send in any film or draft related questions that you have for Joe Blewett, and we'll bring the best ones up on the screen. Ty Simpson, all the discourse surrounding him. After seeing him do the Jet chant, Joe Blewett.
Jets, Jets.
What are your feelings on him as a potential Jet, either at pick 16 or, let me bring up the super chat here from Lou B. Potentially pick 33, because I don't think the Rams are now going to take Ty Simpson with their round pick at pick 13. Let's say Ty Simpson starts the slide. He's there at 16. Would you consider him? Would you take him? Let's have the conversation based on your answer on what you would do at pick 33 as well.
Should I just be the opposite of everybody else? Like, I'm sure everybody else is like, oh, Jets chant, now he's going to be a great Jet, right? I'm sure that's been the flavor of the week. So now I hate him. No, I like him more than most. Like, I know you know that. I know the chat knows that. I've gone into hour-long conversations, 2, 3, 4 hour. I've talked this for hundreds of hours probably. You
were ahead of anyone on this, which is why I want to give you your credit, because you've been saying from the beginning, you watch the film and you don't think there's that big of a drop-off between him and Fernando Mendoza at the top of this draft.
So I'm saying that, but that's in the sense of the film this year. It's not, I get as a prospect that Mendoza's played more. I get that he's bigger, size. He was like 230 something. Like, he has really good weight as well. So I get that he's the better prospect, but in terms of just strictly the film, like there's been people out there, right, Jake? Like I'm not crazy. I'm sure you've seen people, and I've been saying this for 2-3 months now, but like there's a lot of people out there who are like, hey, the first half of the season, he was better than Mendoza. And that's not everybody, but there are enough people out there to kind of at least make my opinion maybe not so crazy. So I like Simpson as a prospect, and if the Jets were a well-run organization, if he fell to 16, I would personally take him. My hesitation is the staff, is the situation. Do they sit him? Do they rush him because they want to save their jobs? Do they bring in Kyler Murray and then he's sitting behind Kyler Murray? That's not a good combo. So for me personally, I think he's worth the 16th overall pick. I'm not so confident in the Jets being able to develop him, so I'm a little bit more sketchy on it. But like, if we're going to argue him versus like Keldrick Falk, like I'm not going to lose my shit about them drafting, Simpson. And at the end of the day, I know the conversation is like, well, if they draft him at 16, they can't draft the guy next year. But realistically, if they draft him at 16 and he fails, they're fired. The new coaching staff has no ties to him. They're going to get rid of him, or they're going to get a different guy. So if they hit, great. If it doesn't hit, they can draft a new guy next year. I don't want to waste a pick, but I do think he's worth about that pick, and I don't think there's a chance he falls to 33, in my opinion.
You don't think there's a chance?
No, and I actually I like looked at my phone really quickly. I was like, Kurt Warner tweeted me back because I did like a quote tweet of Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner thinks he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, thinks he's a first round pick. So if you don't believe me, Blewett, you're an idiot, you suck. It's like, okay, tell Kurt Warner he's an idiot too, because he thinks he's a first round quarterback based on what he watched, because he said he watched him recently and he sees the processing and all that stuff. And like, for me, I don't like the Brock Purdy comparison to him because I think he's so much more athletic and has a better arm than Brock Purdy. So I think it's worth it, man. I think it would be worth it if you have faith in the staff. I just put out a video breaking down 40 plays from like the middle third of his season. I go over everything good, everything bad. There's nothing hidden. And I think a lot of the problems at the end of the season were him starting to, and like I'm making excuses, but you have to take context into the situation, right? I'm sure you've said it. The receivers with the drops, right? Like 10% drop rate, the run game, all the stuff. It's an excuse, but it's real, right? I'm not pulling stuff out of my ass. But a lot of the problems late, and you hear he has gastritis and an elbow injury and a back injury. And a lot of the problems were starting to feel like lack of confidence in the receiver, lack of confidence in the offensive line, because at the end of the day, whether you're Tom Brady or Ty Simpson, if you get hit over and over and over and over and over again, nobody's going to be stoic in the pocket. Like they're going to start to hear some footsteps, and he started to, and not trust the receivers. And then a lot of the problems at the end were, again, rushing a little bit, rushing through his reads, not having confidence. But a lot of it was like accuracy issues. And I think that's why a lot of people, they look at Simpson and it's so easy to be like, oh, he sucked. Because if you watch the games, he was missing throws. But then you attach elbow injury, back injury to it. It's like, yeah, no shit, he was missing throws. You saw him throw at the combine in underwear, but he was throwing great. Like I'm not worried about the accuracy necessarily. And then you hear about the injuries. And I'm like, yeah, it made sense that he sucked a little bit late. But even with that being said, I think the suck is overrated at the end of the season in terms of how bad he was.
Look, what scares me is the lack of starts. But if you're just looking at like some of the things you could talk yourself into, son of a coach, he's a guy that has a tremendous work ethic. I think when you watch him, and you would know this better than me, I think he's got really good like footwork, like, feet tied to the eyes type of stuff. Like you can see the guy is like obviously well coached and experienced despite the lack of starts. He's an older prospect because he's been in Alabama for 5 seasons. He never left after Saban retired. He stuck around. He was Bryce Young's backup. And I'm going to play you something he said when he was on with Florio and Sims. Like, again, you could come up with excuses or there's reasons. This was Ty Simpson being asked about the injuries he played with this past year.
Well, tell some people about your injuries that you had during the end of the year, too, just a little bit. What you were fighting through. I know you don't like to make excuses, but go ahead and tell it.
Well, first off, I want to say this, right? If there's any chance that I can be out there and play, for my guys, like, I'm going to do that.
Right.
So, whether it's like I'm able to walk, able to talk, like, I'm going to go out there and play. So, I twisted my back up a little bit, so it made it difficult sometimes to throw. And then, unfortunately, with the medicine that I took, it really messed up my stomach. And towards the end of the year, I weighed about 195. And I'm 215 now, but it was difficult because I couldn't eat anything besides chicken noodle soup.
I knew you had lost weight. I could watch, listen, I've been doing this my whole life. I played, my dad played. So I was sitting there going, man, he's beat up, and you could tell you had lost it. And it probably affected you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, did give me some cushion. But it was something to where, right, like it was out of my control, taking some anti-inflammatories, messed up my stomach, but, I hadn't taken any since, and now, I'm 215, I feel healthy as an ox, and I'm ready to roll.
healthy as an ox. And like, again, you could see on film that he lost weight. Like you could watch it, you could see it. So Ty feels like a guy you could talk yourself into. I still don't think I would do it at 16 because I don't trust the Jets coaching staff, and the Jets are in a unique spot where they have 3 first-round picks a year from now. But I'm taking him if he's there at 33. I really am.
Yeah, some transparency. I'll act like it's just me and you, and there's not thousands of people who watch this. But like for me, if he's drafted and he hits, awesome win for me, right? If he drafts and he sucked, I'm going to get hammered. So I'm almost like, just stay away. You know, if he fails, it'll be a little bit more quiet. If he hits, I'll try to dunk on people. But if he's drafted and he sucks, my God. And the thing is, like, and I've seen people in the chat, like even like I'm talking about, I'm like, oh, Blewett thinks he's generational. I've literally never said that he's a great prospect or anything like that. I just think he's unfairly criticized, and point blank, that's the period. I'm not saying he's great or anything like that. It's just if you're saying that like Nussmeier is better than this dude, you are absolutely on crack. We'll talk about Nussmeier, I'm sure, in a couple of weeks. But I just think he's unfairly criticized. Again, if you think I'm making excuses for him, fine. But the thing is, I think I did 125 plays of him, Jake. So it's not a thing where like I'm making it up and just saying it exists. I'm quite literally showing you that it exists. So it's not an excuse if you can actually show it, right? So yeah, I like him more than most, but I could talk about the film and all that stuff, but if at the end of the day, if you're going to say, I don't like the size, I don't like the lack of starts, I won't draft him because of that, what can I argue to that? I can't say anything. But if you say, I turned on the film, he sucks ass, he's not worth drafting, then you're, in my opinion, flat out wrong. You just, there's no way, you just cannot say that. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. Look, he's not the first guy to deal with some stomach problems, man. So Ty Simpson, we feel you. That's why we have a guy on our show named Beast. Speaking of Beast, we got a brand new sponsor. Quick break, and we're back with more with Joe Blewett.
Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's ultimate taste tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
All right, we're back. Thanks to our new sponsor. Some super chats here for Joe Blewett. Hojo says, has Muji passed Dimitroff in the GM swag rankings? Well, Thomas Dimitroff is not currently an NFL GM, so I think Muj by default has passed him. But I did like seeing Darren Muji rocking the quarter zip at the combine. I'll tell you what, and Samini and I talked about this morning. There's a real path where Muji's here a year from now and Glenn's not. Like and the fact that Rich even went as far as to say, he threw the name, hey, how about the Jets go out there and they hire Davis Webb as their head coach, offensive guy for the quarterback a year from now? Muji knows him from Denver. Like, again, anyone you talk to about Darren Muji, the answer is all positive, whereas the conversation around Glenn is, man, he's lucky to have a job right now.
Yeah, like, I don't know how to, like, what is the percent, like, what is the chance that if they actually do bad this year, that they hold on to Muji and let go of Glenn and let him do the new search? I know he has connections. You said it last time I was on that he's been getting some rave reviews, some stuff you heard recently. So I wonder what the chance is really that if it does fail with Glenn, that you have Muji, or it's like, do we give Woody Johnson even that credit? You know, like I wonder what the chances really are.
I just think you kind of have seen this now around the league where the GM seemingly survives more often than the head coach. Like Joe Shane somehow survived the debacle with the Giants. Ryan Poles got to pick another coach in Chicago. You're seeing this where the GM somehow survives, even when you could argue, I mean, maybe they shouldn't. But again, like Muji's clearly done his job to this point better than Glenn has done his.
Can I want to comment on this first too. I forgot before I even brought that up. I thought you were legitimately going to a sponsor. What do you caught me off guard. I was dying a little bit behind the scenes.
Beast Ultimate Taste Tool. That's our new sponsor.
You got me. That was hilarious. But yeah, with Muji, like, hey man, if he nails the draft, and if he could swing a few of these late round picks for some more veterans like he did, and you're getting production out of them, and some of the first round picks hit, then yeah, hopefully he stays, because like, you know, he missed. I'll air quote it. He missed on some of the late round picks. Late round picks, if to give him a few years, realistically, if Maui Noah as a 5th round pick is a key special temer, that's a hit for what 5th rounders usually are, right? So we have to give him some time on the late round guys, even though I didn't agree with some of the picks. But yeah, swing some of those late round picks for some vets. Nail your first, 4 picks here. And then maybe he does stick around. Obviously we'll see what happens with Glenn and quarterback and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think Muji's pretty much nailed it, minus some late round picks that are questionable. But with that being said, you have to give it more time too.
Yeah, we got to see what the quarterback situation looks like and what their plan is on that. But I thought the conversation with those who missed it with Rich Cimini was interesting. He went as far as to say Muji's no sidekick because, of course, that was the idea at the beginning when the owner referred to Muji as the sidekick to Glenn at the introductory press conference. We got a super chat from our guy Derek. Derek, always appreciate your support. I'd like to know Joe Blewett's thoughts on Drew Aller. Would he be worth trying at 33 or 44? I wish we had a third-round pick. I'd prefer him there. He threw the ball well for what it's worth at the combine.
Yeah.
And he's not fully healthy. I did think it was a testament to his competitiveness that he had this surgery and said his goal was just to throw out the combine, even if he's not fully healthy. Look, you look at the raw numbers in college. Here's a guy that was 26-9, made 35 starts, 61 passing touchdowns, only 13 interceptions, completed 63% of his passes, 734 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns. Like production-wise, it was there, but he obviously was bad this past season before he got hurt, and it was a mess. What do you make of Drew Aller if you watched any film on him?
Yeah, I watched a little bit, more like passively on Twitter, other guys breaking him down, some people I respect. And it seems like everything is there physically, but the mental part of the game isn't there. So when you have a guy who's there physically, but not there mentally, it feels like more of a, mid-round pick, third, fourth, fifth round pick, more so than a second. Now, always transparent. I have not done like an official breakdown on him. So maybe I watch him like, yeah, he's worth 44. And I like Derek Jets fans, like some accuracy issues, some processing issues, a little bit of panic in him. So I think he's more of I would say a third round pick at the highest, but you never know with quarterbacks. If the Jets draft him at 44 currently out, if literally anybody else but Ty Simpson at 33 or 44, if he falls there, which I don't see it happening, I would be disappointed in. Again, I told you last time I was on, I watched Nussmeier after I heard the hype, and my God, please God, not in the second round. I could not do that. So yeah, I don't think there's really any second round quarterback in this draft. And that's kind of the problem, right? Like we don't have a third round pick. So who's going to be there in the fourth round? I think the quarterback situation may be solved in the next week or two. So it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly happens.
You ready to learn Kyler Murray?
I think we talked about this last time. Like, is Kyler Murray going to happen? Like, Glenn was on a podcast shitting on him, right? Like, is it really going to gun to my head right now? I'm not rooting for this. I think it's going to be like Derek Carr or Tyrod and Andy Dalton, and I'm going to jump off a bridge.
I think it's Carr or Murray. I cannot picture Aaron Glenn in a do or die year going into the season with like Jacoby Brissett, and then they trade for Will Levis or someone like that. Like, you know what I mean? There needs to be someone with some sort of resume, even if it's like not a great one, but like the same, Jet fans who tried to talk us into Justin Fields, you'll come around on Carr or Murray and be like, well, they've done this in the past. Like, there's going to have to be someone with some sort of resume in the room. I could be dead wrong, but again, Murray is the total opposite of what you would think Glenn would want, what Frank Reich would want, but they're desperate, and Glenn knows he's going to get fired if he doesn't win games. And Kyler Murray at age 28, former number one pick in the draft, who's been to the playoffs before, he might be their best option over a guy in Carr who's 34, turning 35, and was out of football for a year. When a guy's out of football for a year and then tries to come back, there's legit concerns with him too. There's no good option. Yeah, for sure, right? And it's like, oh yeah, well he prefers a 6'5" quarterback. Like, yeah, no shit. Like I prefer Tom Brady too, but it's not always going to be available to you. But do you have a third option there? Because like, what if Murray goes to the Vikings? I know he's tied to the Vikings. I don't know if it's legit. I'm not an insider. I have no idea. He goes to the Vikings. Carr, I don't like the options. He goes back. Do you have a third guy who you might be again? And I feel like with Twitter and like on my streams too, whoever you say you suck and you're an idiot. But can we acknowledge like there's really not a great answer for the Jets at quarterback right now? So anybody, like you're gonna get crapped on, but like, is there a third guy that who do you say would be your third guy? I guess a proper way to phrase that question. I mean, my number one is Cousins, but apparently the Jets are too good for Kirk Cousins. They already put it out there. They're not in on him, which that to me is just weird. Why wouldn't you be in on Kirk Cousins? So the last 5 weeks of the year, it looked like the old Kirk Cousins. Saving face, you think, or no? Maybe he said no to them, but someone made this point to me. Kirk Cousins wants to get into media after his football career. There's no better spot than to come to the Jets to get out there. Look how many Jets are on TV to this day. Yeah. I think it's gonna be Carr. Like I've had to guess, which I don't love. But listen, he's had some solid seasons and whatever. I'd rather have him than Andy Dalton. So at least it's something. I guess you could add Dalton, but someone needs to be in front of Dalton. Like to me. Like, has to be competition. Like, there's got to be like the Tyrod role on this team. Honestly, remember when the Jets gave $10 million to Josh McCown to be Sam Darnold's quarterback coach? Like, get me Dalton, get me Tyrod, but then there has to be a Murray, there has to be a Carr, there has to be someone in front of like that kind of veteran number two option, so to speak. Whoever it's going to be, we're going to break them down, and I'm not
am not looking forward to it. I'm really not. But we'll see. It's gonna be decided soon. I see Derek Jet fan brought up Brissett. I don't know if he's an option because they got rid of Murray, right? So why would you get rid of Brissett unless you had another option? Unless they sign like Willis, Willis goes there, then okay, maybe Brissett's available.
I think they're going to get Malik Willis, and then Brissett would be available in that scenario.
I would take Brissett. 5th, 6th round pick, something like that. I would take Brissett. Like he's a steady guy. And then another thing with like Murray too is, let's say the Jets do draft. Whoever's asking the question, I think it's Derek the Jets fan. Alar falls to the 4th round. They draft him in the 4th round. Do you want him learning from Kyler Murray? But that stipulation is contract. We all know. I don't think so. So I'd rather him learning behind a guy like Brissett than a guy like Murray. That's something you have to factor in as well.
100%. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you got a question for Joe Blewett, write it in. We need some raffle entries. You want a Keyshawn jersey, Mangold, Revis, Corbett, Curtis Martin, Joe Klecko, or Joe Namath. You can enter for your chance to win a jersey on today's show. Peter Castro in the house. Joe, how about Taylon Green? So the Arkansas quarterback who is an absolute freak at the Combine. I know the Jets have met with him a couple times, both at the Senior Bowl, and they met with him at the Combine, I'm pretty sure. Your thoughts on him as a prospect? I don't know if you've looked into any day 3 options like he would be.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't really. I know he's like more of like a physical prospect again. Late round flyers. I am not Dom C. I don't have that much time with the young kids and the full time. I just can't. So I haven't.
Are you saying Dom C has no life?
Yeah, I think Dom's admitted that. I don't think I'm breaking any rules here. Dom has said that. So Dom's a great guy. Dom looks into this from 365 days a year. I have 40, 50 days to look into it. So have I looked into Taylon Green, whatever his name is? I have not. I'll be honest.
All right, let's get to the real topic I've been waiting to ask you about. When this happened last week, what was your reaction?
So Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets.
Christ, superpowers sleeping. Aaron, wake up!
Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network.
Sleepgate, your thoughts on Aaron Glenn dozing off, or was he looking at his tablet?
I tried to defend it at first, and I watched, and I looked back, and I was like, "Oh, I think I was wrong." So I kind of went quiet on the situation. Is it the biggest deal in the world? I can see it from both sides, right? Like, you're being paid to be there. You're a joke at this point in the NFL and to Jets fans, and you know how pissed off we all are. Like, at least if you're feeling sleepy, maybe stand up, grab a cup of coffee. Like, just by the optics of it, I get people being pissed off. I do. Do I think it's the biggest deal overall in the world? No. You get the numbers. We were talking about this pre-show. Like, you get the numbers. Who cares about actually watching it? The optics are not good, though, in my opinion, for a guy who's, superpowers and all the stuff he's gone back on, falling asleep at the Combine. So initially I tried to defend it, and like I was getting dumped, like shit on a little bit. And I looked back, I'm like, I think I was wrong there. He was definitely sleeping, especially with the reaction of looking up. So not ideal. Definitely not ideal.
I think that he was just resting his eyes, and 10 seconds of Aaron Glenn dozing off is the equivalent of him getting 8 hours of sleep for you or I. And that's what he needs to maintain these superpowers that we learned he had last week in Indy as well.
Play call is my superpower, really.
It really was just a great week for Glenn. It's amazing. Like, remember last year they wanted the Jets to move in silence, and like he's creating all the headlines, falling asleep, the superpower quote. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I see Dave Briga says narcolepsy. Like, maybe he has a problem. Like, maybe he quite literally can't help it. Like, Ty Simpson lost weight because of gastritis. So we don't have all the context here. So we have to be fair to Glenn. Realistically, man, like the optics are not great. Media stuff, like the superpower comment too. I know you probably went off on that because I know how you feel about stuff like that. But like, why would you not call plays then in your first year if that's your superpower? Like, what are we doing here? So he's putting a lot of the pressure on his back, and if he sucks, my God, that's going to be used, I'm sure, on this channel a ton.
I'm glad he said it because it makes it easy to fire him if he sucks. Because it's like, dude, the defense stinks. That's the one thing you said you could fix. All right, we understand you can't manufacture a franchise quarterback given the list of mediocre options we're debating. But if the defense sucks, that's on you. I will pack your bags for you if this defense remains an embarrassment.
Yeah. he's really just failing at all levels. I don't think it's going to work out. We both said after the first few weeks, like fire him mid-season, fire him at the end of the season, whatever we were saying. I don't think it works out, and we're looking for a new coach in 2027. That's the end. That's the end of it. But for now, it's looking into all the young prospects, the quarterbacks who we're going to build around in 2027 and going forward. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, because I just do not have faith in this guy to turn it around and have any real, true superpower.
Chef Kevin says year one AG was charging his superpowers for year two. Maybe Glenn is he just wanted us to think he's incompetent. He's what's the saying or the term when you like bait someone into a bet? You're what's the
like pool players? Yeah, now you're making me blank out on it. Someone will know in the chat. Yeah,
there's a famous Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Uncle Phil plays what's the term? Hustling. Someone in the chat will know what I'm talking about.
But it's not. But there's an actual term for it. I see Jay Quest is asking me about back rub from Beast or something else from Gary. I don't know what's going on here. Hard hitting questions. I'm gonna go back rub for I want my wife to stick around. So I'm gonna go. At least Beast has some forearms, right? So I'm sure he can put some pressure. Like I'd rather Beast than some tiny little girl who's 90 pounds who's like is chopping my back and not actually getting the deep rub in. So I'm sure Beast can put some good work into the back at least. So I'm in for Beast.
There's been a lot of Beast controversy. I want your take on some film here. We'll have you break it down. Some are accusing Beast of peeing out his window. You tell me if that's what you're seeing on tape.
What does everybody?
My first take is he needs to hydrate. That pee is way too yellow. So if that is his pee, please hydrate. I don't know what's going on there. Beast always makes this show very interesting for me. But yeah, based on that clip, I would say definitely. But that flow, man, drink some water, Beast, please.
Now, as far as Asmaniac Madness goes, Joe, I know you made some picks here. What were the toughest decisions for you? First, we got the 1 seeds here. We got Kyle Clifton, Beast, Gary, and Charles Gorman. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I pretty much rode the favorites. I'll be honest, some of the people at the lower end of the spectrum, like I don't know everybody in this. Like I don't know if I've ever met like Craig from Australia. I know Peter Castro. I know Alan. I talked to him. I talked to Kyle at least once. He's a 1 seed. Beastbreaker. I pretty much rode the favorites until the end. And then the biggest conversation for me or thought point was the end. Like I had Gary making it far. I had Kyle making it far. So does the polarizing people win? Do the polarizing players in this win? Or is it the guys who are more level-headed and have more of the community backing? So I don't really know what wins. So that was the hardest problem. But I had a lot of the favorites making it towards to the end. So I think I had. I forget if this even work out. I think I had Gary versus Kyle maybe at the end, if that would even work out, or does that even?
That would, yeah. Top left is Kyle, and then top right is Gary, so they could meet in the championship.
Yeah, I think that's what I had. And because of Gary and the things I've seen of him with like some of the woman stuff and the drops that you've showed me, I think it's for me it's gonna be Kyle because of the level-headedness, and I think he has more of the community backing. So Kyle's gonna be my winner, but I think Gary's gonna be interesting to say the least based on what I've seen from this show.
I love it. That is an excellent breakdown. Well, Joe, I appreciate you hopping on. Great stuff as always. Please plug all your content. Where can people see more of your work?
Yeah, Joe RB31 on Twitter. Post a ton of clips there and stuff. Blewett Splits on YouTube, Jets X Factor, all that stuff. I go live like every other week. But yeah, I've broken down 20 prospect, 20 Jets players are also coming. Whoever they draft, whoever they sign, get full blown breakdowns, strengths and weaknesses, plays broken down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really it. And I think I'll see you next week, Jake. Right? Nothing going on. So we'll do another breakdown next week of whoever we decide.
I cannot wait. I'll tell you what, get ready to learn a little Alex Anzalone because I feel like he's going to be one of the signings they make next week.
He's going to be like the first guy I'm doing. I think I'm going to start to break him down early because I just feel like that's going to happen. So yeah, next week, let's talk some free agents and who the Jets bring in on Monday. Who's it going to be? Because like, it feels like every year there's that random signing where like, who the hell is that guy? Right. The first year or one of the first few years, it was Fant, right? It's like George Fant. Like who the is George Fant, you know? So like every year we have that random guy.
Gerard Davis, the linebacker that like never played.
Gerard Davis, I believe one of the earlier ones was Avery Williamson as well. I actually like Avery Williamson. Last year it was Stevens, right? Was the first one. So it's gonna be some random dude that nobody knows about. And I'll I'll grind as quickly as I can to get a review out for the people who care about those.
I love it. Mr. Blewett, you are the man. I appreciate you hopping on.
Yep. I'll see you next week, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Blewett from Jet X, our guest in his weekly spot. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. You know what? I just saw this from How About Them Jets. Remind me next week, How About Them Jets, and we'll get Joe's early thoughts on next year's quarterback class, but he's not going to have a real ranking at this point. If I know Joe, he's going to say he's got to watch the film on all of them, and he'll formulate opinions off of that. But look, the names you mentioned for the quarterbacks, Arch, Moore, Sayin, Chambliss, Simpson. I mean, Simpson's in this year's class, but all the other guys, they'll be a part of next year's class. And we'll see. By the way, I did want to mention this because this broke a little while ago. Lou Holtz passed away. The legendary coach of Notre Dame passed away at the age of 89. Obviously best known for his tenure with the Irish, where he won 100 games and won the national championship in 1988. He was a fixture on ESPN for many, many years with their college football coverage. And older Jet fans will remember his not even one full season in 1976 when he was the coach of the Jets. So he left the Jets and became a legendary college football coach, but he certainly was not a legendary coach with the Jets. But obviously RIP to Lou Holtz, and sending our thoughts to his family. All right, let's open up the phone lines here. Right now, there is nobody on hold besides one man, and that one man always has a lot to say.
What does everybody? All right, I'm gonna stop you right here. That video has to be cut. That's got to be cut.
What happened?
I don't want to see that.
We're not seeing an RN. What are you seeing? That just sounded like a normal intro to me.
It looks like crap. I'll get back to you.
Looks like piss.
No, I gotta take a phone call.
All right, we'll come back to you.
Beastmac.
Look at my TV.
Beastmac.
That wasn't me peeing. I was just stringing the cheese. Calm your freaky down. I cook burgers in my attic and burn it down.
All right, we're back. We'll check back in with Beast in a moment, but another man is called in on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
Hey, I worked 3 nights in a row, and I was doing stuff today and been enjoying the beverage. So I don't want to embarrass myself, but I did. But I want to call in to thank the committee for getting me into the ASMANIAC madness. Sunday I worked, and then I come home and listen to your show, and it took me a little while to get to sleep, which I usually don't. So that was pretty cool. And the matchup with Josh. I feel really good about it because at my age, Jake, we root for the young people, and he's really cool, and he's smarter than me, and knows a lot more about the Jets than me. So I am rooting for him, and I already voted for him.
Wow, I'll tell you what, David, you're an Elite Four seed in this tournament, and going up against Josh, that's the OG versus the youth type of battle there. So I'm excited.
I know it's neat. It's neat. I'm intrigued by it, and I'm curious to see what he comes up with. I mean, I'm really nothing to go up against, but does he have a strategy or whatever? But I think if him just being himself and being a great young Jet fan and all that kind of stuff, he's going to do well, because down the road when he runs for president, he's going to look back on the ASMANIAC madness and was a good experience for him.
Well, David, let me ask you this. Your camera quality, did you get a new phone?
I did.
You look great.
Wow, you detected that, huh?
Oh, did I detect it all right? I've never seen you up close like this.
Oh my God, a new phone makes me look great.
You have tremendous eyebrows.
Oh man, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had, as far as my eyelashes go, I had women say they would die for eyelashes like that in the past, you know. So that was a really nice compliment.
Well, David, you keep killing it. All right, you got a new phone at the right time. I think it's going to take your calls to a new level.
Yes. Well, yes, and I am so. I mean, as Maniac Madness has started, and I feel so good. And I you know, otherwise, Jets wise, we have, you know, more and more positivity coming. It seems so. It's a good time. Timing is good.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen, bitch. Fireball, whiskey time, David motherfucking T.
Beast.
What the hell do you all want now?
What's wrong?
I just got off my telephone.
And?
I took care of something important.
Like what?
I got blood work coming up in 1 week.
That's important.
Very, very scary. Very, very tight, ship that I have to take care of. Every 3 months, I have to get this done. They have to check how much, if I'm doing real good or if my shit's through the roof because of freaking tempers.
Well, maybe you should stop being so angry all the time.
Yeah, well, everyone better stop playing bullshit. It's called cut the bullshit and knock it off. I did not pee out the window. I only use it. I only do that in the bathroom only. Get that correct.
Now, what's the deal with this video of you peeing though? Is it doctored?
I don't care about it. It's fucking retarded. It's
Whoa. Language.
Shame.
Language.
Shame.
Language.
Shame.
Take a breath. Here, why don't we calm down?
Enough.
Relax. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more from Beast and your call.
Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's ultimate taste tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
All right, more of your calls. Let's say hello to Paul Faz, who's up next on the show today. Hey, Paul.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Paul?
I got my boss flying in from Georgia, so busy for this week. When's the tournament start? Friday morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, really? Oh,
get the bracket in, baby. Get your picks in.
You could do it now?
You could do it right now, yeah. You could just click the link in the description. I'll post it in the live chat again.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, because I'm with him all week, so it's going to be really rough getting on. And then I'm flying to Myrtle Beach on Friday, so got to get my digs in while I can. And call me crazy, dude, but I'm not giving up until I know for a fact that we can't get our hands on what's his face, because I just Kirk Cousins. It makes the most sense. Everybody knows it. Like, can we just overpay and get the dude here? And I'm hoping that something can happen. I know it's not right, but I'm not giving up. And we just really don't have that many options. I mean, I get it. We just have to hope they do the right thing moving forward. I mean, there's so much room for growth, development, right? I don't know. We bragged so much about the draft. What was it, 2022? With a lot of the studs we got in. But I mean, if you really look at it, did they all really pan out that great? Right? I mean, we need to hit on solid players. That's our biggest thing, right? We can't screw this up this time around, right? Whoever we get in free agency has got to be a home run. Whoever we pick in the draft has to be a home run. I know the safety pick isn't that beautiful. I couldn't argue if they did it right. I mean, the problem with drafting is you really don't know how good your draft was for usually a couple years after the fact, right? So I just want to see competency, and I'm going to stick with what I always say, man. We need Muji to be one of the better GMs in the league, and we need him to start guiding the team moving forward, because we damn well know our ownership's not going to do it, man. Like, we need somebody in-house that can run our organization moving forward. Hopefully he'll get as much faith in Tannenbaum, like our ownership did with Tannenbaum, but actually be more effective than Tannenbaum, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, look, Muji, I think, is our best hope of this team turning it around, because he's shown some competency. He's highly regarded from people I've spoken to the last month at all these events I've been at. Again, you have to hope that he has another good draft. They don't do anything dumb in free agency. Don't do anything that affects your ability to use those 3 firsts on landing the quarterback, in all likelihood, the coach. So, this is not fun as far as the regular season in all likelihood, but building the team, you got to look at it like it's a 2-year silo. Like, they got 5 ones over the next 2 years. They have pick 33, pick 44. Like, you could do a lot of roster overhaul to put yourself in a good spot at the end of all this, whether Glenn's here or not. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, there's an opportunity for this team to really have a respectable roster at the end of this, at the end of this offseason going into next year.
And me too. And let's be honest, right? That's what's going to really separate Muji and Glenn. Like, I just don't want a failure this year, right? And then Johnson just blow all the shit up again. Like, if Muji is good, I'm just praying that they have enough of a brain to say, okay, we let Aaron give him another year. We let him bring in new coaching. It was the coaching. It wasn't the players. And let's move on from Aaron Glenn and his staff and keep Muji. That's what I'm banking on right now. Everything this year still, to me, is all going to be Muji. Like, please, could we just get a competent GM at this point and get some good picks in the draft? This way, if we shit the bed on our coaching staff, he at least has some knowledge in the league. He knows people. I think if he gets an opportunity to go out and try to get people, I think it'll be a lot better chance of him running the show than where the hell we're at now, man. But looking forward to tomorrow. Now I got to try to sneak and peek on with my boss before it gets off. I'm going to go fill that form out in the chat. But thanks again, brother, and talk soon, man.
You got it, Paul. Playing tournament tomorrow. Carlos the Barber, Cash Money Mike, and Man with a Jet Tattoo against Leany and NC. Those are the 2 matchups. Who you guys got? I think Carlos and Cash Money Mike is a great opening battle. Man with the Jet Tattoo, I think he's a great caller. He just doesn't call enough. Leany's called more recently. So I don't even have Man with the Jet Tattoo's information. So Man with a Jets Tattoo, if you're out there, just know you're in the tournament. Or is Leany's magical run, as ISU in the chat wrote, is that going to happen here? That's the question. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Appreciate all of you out there. Please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Right now, we only have 1 gifted membership. So if we don't get our usual 20, we will carry the jersey raffle over into tomorrow, and I will add another prize. We got the following items we're going to raffle away. A jersey of your choice. Pick the Jet Legend you want a jersey in. Here we go. More of your calls right now. Australian Jets fan is on the line. AJF, hair's looking long.
Good morning.
What's going on?
It is long, and if I win as Maniac Madness, I will shave it all off.
You'll shave your head if you win as Maniac Madness.
Yeah, including my beard. Yeah.
Wow.
But more importantly, I want to talk about Breece Hall. I don't know. I saw something on TikTok today. Apparently, he had put several holes in the wall after finding out he got franchise tagged.
Fake,
I don't know if
not
it's
real.
true.
Not
I don't
real.
believe it. I think Brees wants to be a Jet. I think they will come to
You
terms.
probably think Beast peed out of a window too, don't you?
I saw the video of that. It's real.
You think he did it?
There's evidence. I mean,
What does everybody?
it's the evidence is right there. I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, Gator's currently on vacation, but he's looking into it. He's going to track down who's responsible for such a thing. We're going to find the culprit.
But yeah, I really
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Do I know you, mate? Do I know
do you?
you, mate? No,
I don't believe so. I don't think we've met.
Hey, what part of Australia are you from, mate?
I'm from Melbourne.
What
Victoria.
part are you from? I see. So you're a Foster's kind of person, aren't you? Hey,
We don't really drink
you
Fosters
like your
here.
Fosters?
We don't really drink
I
Fosters
hope.
here anymore.
Well, I see that. Well, I used to like Fosters.
Yeah, I
used
don't
to
think
like
I've
that
ever
stuff.
actually had a Foster's.
They're Fosters, Australian for beer, mate.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a
Are you
Foster's.
familiar with Crocodile Dundee?
I am.
Good. I've seen it. So what do you see? What do you see? What do you see for this year? What do you see for
Me,
2026?
I see Aaron Glenn getting fired, and I see the Jets getting another high draft pick.
We'll see what happens. We'll have to see we're going to see what happens first. Because right now, as it stands, there's a rumor going around that they've re-signed Clemens. Why? Tell me why.
I don't know.
Why?
Every single time I play Madden and I'm on defense and it automatically puts me on Michael Clemens, I switch straight away because I don't want to play as him. I want to get him off the field. And now it's even worse because we traded Jermaine Johnson. He's starting by default.
Well, we had to go some way. You had to go. Who's going to be next? Well, I already know who's going to be next. Two other guys should be next. It's going to have to come down to Sherwood.
Beastmac.
Look at my TV.
Beastmac.
That wasn't me peeing. I was just stringing the cheese. Calm your freaky down. I cook burgers in my attic and burn it down.
Next week I got blood work and you're going to push this crap.
All right, we're back. Now, AJF, I don't know if you're aware of this, but someone in the chat made a great point. That you look like the Heath Ledger played character from the movie Knight's Tale.
That's a compliment. Any comparison to Heath Ledger, I will take very gladly. So thank you very much to whoever said that in the chat.
I believe it was Jeffrey who had the comp. So shout out to Jeffrey. I can see it. I see the resemblance.
Anyway, back to Breece Hall.
Yes.
I think it's so hard in this league to hit on, good quality players. So I really hope that the Jets just don't let like a top 10 running back walk out, because I don't know when we're going to get, another player of that, stature. Like we've got this young talent. I feel like those are the kind of guys that you keep and you build around no matter what at this stage. Like he's young. So I really hope, they re-sign him, and I really can't wait to see Breece and Garrett with an actual quarterback if that ever happens.
Well, I'll tell you what. To me, the goal should be to get a long-term deal done with Breece for some of the reasons you outlined. But the bottom line is it all comes down to getting the quarterback situation figured out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Because if you get quarterback figured out, some of these holes we talk about or some of these players that, they're worth it. Like, everyone looks better when you have competent quarterback play. Everyone. The whole tenor of your the only reason why people are optimistic about the Giants is because of Jackson Dart. The only reason Harbaugh went there was because of Dart. And Dart is a completely an unfinished product. He flashed some potential in a year where the head coach still got fired and they barely won more than 3 games. They won 4 games, I think it was. So it all comes down to quarterback, which why getting back to what we talked about with Joe Blewett before, if Ty Simpson's there at pick 33, I would roll the dice on him.
Yeah, I would definitely take Ty Simpson in the second round. I wouldn't take him with pick 16, but if he's there in 33, I think, you'd be dumb not to take the chance. But the things I would do to see Garrett Wilson play with an actual quarterback. I know he had Rodgers that one year, but I don't really think the chemistry was there. Honestly, as soon as they traded for Devontae, it honestly looked like Rodgers and Adams were just sort of running the whole offense and mucking around the whole time. There was no real structure. But I think with an actual good scheme and a good quarterback, I think Garrett Wilson could be the best receiver in the league.
He could be one of them.
And I really want to see that. But what do you think? Do you think there's a possibility of the Jets trading up for Mendoza?
Less than 5%. I don't think he's available.
Well, if he was, what would you be willing to give to get that number 1 pick?
The most I would give up is this year's 2, obviously, 16, 33, and I trade a 1 next year for it.
Yeah. And because I mean, I guess you never know. Crazier things have happened, but yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our guy, the Australian Jets fan.
What does everybody?
All right, more of your calls right now. How about back-to-back callers from Australia? Craig in Australia is next. Hello, Craig.
Hey, mate, how you going?
Craig, congratulations on making it once again into the ASMANIAC Madness tournament.
Look, someone's got to represent the Southern Hemisphere. It's just how it is. I did want to ask, excuse me, AJF, if he's still in Finland or not. And if not, if he's back in the land of Oz, is he coming to the MCG in September for the Rams and the 49ers?
He's back in Australia, so I don't know if we'll be there when that game is, but he did say he's back in Australia, no longer in Finland.
Right. Well, he must be in Melbourne in that case, and I was just there, and I could have caught up with him. So I'll have to do something about that. And I was thinking, so who's been suggesting that that Breece Hall punched the shit out of the walls when he found out he was tagged?
One of the propagating, just fake people making jokes, fake news. It's not true. There's no validity to that.
The problem with it is that it's totally believable because
I know
because the question is, it's not just does Breece Hall want to be a Jet. The question is who apart from Michael Clemens wants to be a Jet? Nobody, surely at this point. And
that's what they're up against, having to change that stigma and to try and get players to want to sign here in free agency next week. You're going to have to overpay because you're not going to win any tiebreakers.
It's a horrible, horrible, ugly situation. But anyway, I'm about to book my flights to the USA for the middle of May. And since I didn't want to wait that long for my favorite food on earth, which is Fluffy's hot chicken from Manhattan, Mrs. Craig and I made fried chicken on the weekend, and we made our own cane sauce and Fluffy sauce. So this is what I have to do just to get me through until I get there. So keep an eye on my hood, mate. It's getting closer. We're like within a couple of months now at this rate.
I can't wait. Now, Craig, I don't know if you've seen any of the comments here, but a couple people have asked, since you're in the tournament this year and Sarah is not, will you guys be teaming up in an attempt to go on a run here in this year's ASMANIAC Madness tournament?
Yeah, like form a ticket, basically. I'll have to talk to her about it. But you know what Sarah's like? She'd turn up to the opening of an envelope. So she would. There's no way she'll say no if I say that if this is a team thing. but it's not a great time of year for time zones, so we'll do our best. But I'm just looking at this bracket. I'm surely, to use a poker metaphor, I'm drawing dead against Peter Castro. There's got to be no. I would vote for Peter Castro against me.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're both OGs at the program, so it's crazy this is a 12-5. It just speaks to the depth of the tournament people, or the teams that are in, or the participants that are in this year. Because if you told me that you were a 5 and Peter was a 12, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that, because it just speaks to how many great callers we have.
Yep. Well, we're at it again. We'll see what happens. But as always, thanks for having me, and I'll see you in a couple of months. Can you believe it?
Let's go. Craig, you're the man. Say hi to Sarah for us.
Yeah, mate. See ya.
Craig checking in. By the way, this was sent to me by the big fella. Here is Australian Jets fan when he played Joker in Dark Knight Rises. So he's been in a lot of big films, that Australian Jets fan. He really has. Been in A Knight's Tale. He's been in Dark Knight Rises. What was the movie with the gay cowboys? Brokeback Mountain. That was Australian Jets fan as well. He was in the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson as well, of course. Played Mel Gibson's son in that film. Also, I meant Dark Knight. Not Dark Knight Rises was Bane. I should know that. We've been making the Ruben Bane jokes for months on the show. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a manly man's man.
Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
Beast, how do you do?
Blood boiling. Blood boiling. I was just about to go to the bathroom and take a you-know-what. Can you come back to me at 5? I got to go take a leak.
That doesn't sound like you're taking a leak.
I gotta take a leak.
Okay.
It's like I gas right now. Oh.
I'll take your word for it. Jeez. Why are you walking towards the bathroom? Don't you gotta go to the window? Super chat from Ozzy. How about Davis Mills from the Browns? I think you mean Davis Mills from the Texans, Ozzy. From people I spoke to that cover the Texans, Houston's not trading him, and I trust these people. Davis Mills is going nowhere. All right, last chance to get in here. Last chance also to enter the raffle. Looks like we'll carry over the entries for tomorrow's show, and I'll add another prize because right now we only have one gifted membership. I'll gift another one right now, so that'll get us up to 2. It would be 18 away. Ladies and gentlemen, a gifted membership from yours truly. If you get one from me, we put you in our ASMANIAC raffle for the daily and the weekly. Daily is coming up in just a little bit. One from yours truly has officially been gifted. Let's go.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Dorian 3986 in the ASMANIAC raffle. Dorian, congratulations. Thunderlips just bought 2 raffle tickets. I knew those burgers were raw. ... Attic Beasts.
What does everybody?
Thunderlips, thank you. All right, more of your calls right now. Paul is on the line. He wanted to call back in. Paul, you have another point?
Well, I noticed some people in the chat wanted me to shout out a phrase. So if it's all right with you, I got to entertain.
Please, Paul.
Give him the heater, Ricky. You may run like Hayes, but you hit like shit. Every time you put the ball in the air, you owe me 30 push-ups. Hope that was good enough for you guys. I'm pretty much better at everybody ever see Full Metal Jacket. That's more of my forte. I'll give you one of that. Holy Jesus. What is that private pile of jelly donut? You're not allowed to eat jelly donuts in my Foot Locker. That's all I got, guys. That's the best imitations I can do. Trying to match the voice. Hope you liked it. Peace.
Like I gas right now. Oh. Holy Jesus. What is that? What the hell is that? What is that, Private Pile? A jelly donut is eaten around the barracks now, Private Pile. And why are you not to eat jelly donuts? Because you are a fat piece of garbage there, Private Pile. Private Pile has disowned the platoon and took care and done this to me. I'm not gonna punish him. I'm gonna punish all of you.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
What a segue. Beautiful moment there. Big fella, super chat, Burger's Revenge Turtle, heading beast, coming soon. Incredible. Hey, shout out to James Mart. He became a channel member. He hit the join button.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
More of your calls right now. The only guy to ever confuse Brian Flores and Mike Florio, thinking they were the same person, is on the line. Steve Asman joins us now. Hello, Dad.
Do I automatically win the Asmaniac as a surprise pick now? Which I have to give away my prize anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
You did not make the tournament this year. I think you had maybe 2 calls all year.
No, actually, that was one. This is my second.
That was your first call this year? Wow.
I've called only 3 times in my entire life. This is it.
Well, welcome back.
See the poster behind me, Gary? There it is. That's one of 10 with the original fight date. Can I see that, Jacob?
I see it. How dirty is your phone, though? Your camera's very blurry.
I cracked the screen. And your stepmother keeps constantly hitting it with Lysol every night, so that's probably the other reason. You gotta do the pre-COVID thing when I come home every day.
Well, it's interesting. That's probably why you confused Brian Flores for
Mike Florio. Yeah, that's exactly why.
Very blurry phone screen.
I'm wearing your hat today. I thought you'd be very impressed.
It looks good.
I called because my boy Lou Holtz died. Rest in peace. Even though he wasn't a great Jet coach, he happened to be a very, very good man. Extremely nice guy.
Well,
big golfer, by the way.
He won't be remembered for his Jet tenure, that's for sure.
Well, he's still better than Richie Kotite and Aaron Glenn as of now.
Yeah, barely, but yes.
Well, Jimmy Carter's very happy about Joe Biden. What do you want me to tell you?
All right.
That's more of a Joe Beningo joke. I know. I should say that on Joe's show.
Yeah, that would fit his what he's looking for.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
I got one more thing. Please don't give us Tua.
Why not?
I will not watch a game if he comes to the Jets.
Well, he's not made of glass and doesn't struggle in the cold or anything.
And then I got to hear Schnapp. That's worse than death.
Hey, let me ask you something. Who did you pick in Asmaniac Madness? Did you fill out a bracket?
I did not fill out a bracket because I feel I may be biased.
You're not biased. How are you biased?
Well, I personally think it's going to be a runaway this year, but it's not. I thought that Mr. Indianapolis would have won it last year. This year, I don't think he has that chance to win, Charles, because he wasn't around for so long because he's Mr. Indianapolis.
Well, hold on. I think Gorman is peaking at the right time. He now is in possession of an air fryer that Thunderlips sent him a year ago, and he started using it.
Hey, everyone. I finally used Thunderlips' air fryer, as you guys can see. As you can finally see. Son of a... As you guys can finally see. There you go. I finally used it. I'm going to finally taste one and see how I like it. Delicious. A+. Thank you, Thunderlips. You're the man.
Peaking at the right time.
Well, I think Beast can win it. I'll tell Beast, here's the secret, Beast, how you can win. You just have to dive on that bed one more time and make sure it breaks, and you're the winner. Hands down.
So you think the bed dive is the key to a deep
The
Beast run?
bed dive with the bed collapsing is the slam dunk. That's like breaking a glass on a backboard in basketball, like Shaq used to do. It's a
Ladies and
runaway
gentlemen,
at that point.
Does Beast have what it takes? Let's ask him.
I'm bringing an international gang warfare with me to this tournament, and then once I succeed past everything,
Beast.
I'm going after Gary's head. I'm putting
Beast,
a price
just
on for Gary's head.
point the camera to the bed, dive on it. If the bed collapses, you win. I guarantee you will win.
It's already super powered, and I'm preparing to do a dominant.
Who's got more superpowers, Beast? You or Aaron Glenn?
When it comes to super strength, I think you're looking at the master of submission, and I'm gonna drop the bomb after I'm done eliminating all the competition. I'm coming for Gary's head, and I'm starting the highest price at $100,000. I'm starting.
Beast, if you want to win, just listen. Just bust the bed. That's all you got to do. Jump high and boom, done. Make sure the camera's pointed there, though.
In half, I'm gonna have a eulogy set for him at his funeral because I got an Undertaker and a Paul Bear waiting to do the honors.
I'm telling you, all the one seeds are peaking at the right time. It's going to be some tournament.
I'm telling you, he's got the secret. All he has to do is point that camera towards the bed. I know he can win. I know he won't let me down.
They're calling you a kingmaker in the chat. Yeah, the Steve Asman endorsement, it could go a long way in this tournament.
I don't. Well, I guess I'm the Donald Trump of endorsements. What can I tell you?
Politics. We don't do politics on this program.
Because I know it makes you very uneasy.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Thank you, Steve Asman. The only politics we do around here is the politics behind the selection committee. Come on now. Good call by Steve Asman endorsing Beast. Everyone fill out your bracket. Don't wait. You won't be able to make your picks after tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right. Splash Sports, teamed up with them. I'm rocking their hat right now. Great website. I'll show you guys how easy it is to make your bracket, to fill it out, because it's easy. You click the link that I posted in the live chat or in the description, and you'll see it will take you here. You'll click, once you sign in with your name and email, it's all free to do this. It will take you to the 2026 ASMANIAC Madness tournament. And you'll see all the info is here. We're up to 139 brackets that have been filled out. Top 3 prizes. Mangled jersey, Revis jersey, Corbett helmet, all signed by those players. You fill out your bracket. Points are awarded for each correct pick, and the values increase as the tournament progresses. First round, 1 point. Second round, 2. Third, 4. Fourth, 8. Semi, 16. Championship, 32. The winner is the entry with the most points at the end of the contest. If you've ever done a March Madness pool, this is the same thing, but with ASMANIACs. And all you have to do, once you join, is literally hit my entries, and you can fill things out. We did the mock example on the other day, right? So you click your bracket, and you can fill out your names. That easy. Right now, on my mock hypothetical, I have the big fella beating Gary in the championship. But it's fun. You can do little generate quick picks, and it will give you a brand new bracket. But you can make your own picks along the way. For the 16 seeds, because people have asked, once we get a definitive winner in that, we'll update the names. But you'll see each 16 seed is listed, if you go under the info tab, under the 1 seeds they're playing. So for tomorrow, Carlos is facing Cash Money Mike in the play-in. He's listed under the number 1 seed Kyle here. If you go under info, you could click it. You can fill out your bracket accordingly. And that's for all the 16s. Here's Leany and Jets tattoo. Carl, Jay Graves versus Fibrows. Robert C. or Ralphie Rocks. It's all right there. So check that out. All right. Super easy to fill out your bracket. you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Big fellow with a super chat. Actually, you know what? I think I read that one already. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. Hello, Derek.
Yo, what's up, Jake? How we doing today, brother?
What's up, Derek?
Not much. I hope you and the fellow Asmaniacs having a wonderful day. Super stoked for the madness that is about to begin tomorrow.
No, get ready.
Fun. Oh man, I just wanted to go on a permanent record here, and Beast, if you're listening, brother, I just want to let you know that I definitely do not think that you're urinating out the window, and I'm pulling for you in the tournament, big guy. And also, keep that BP low. You know, we need Beast alive and well. We can't have him, go into an early grave. So we gotta, get that temper down a little bit, bud. You got this. I got the utmost faith in you. I know that for sure. But to my Jets points, I didn't really get into this yet. On last time I called, I noticed that you were showing up. It kind of makes me chuckle now. But Aaron Glenn falling asleep at the combine. I personally think it's a non-issue. It's definitely a bad look. Bad optics for sure. As Joe said, I think that was pretty much a perfect sum. But I mean, if you win games, nobody's going to remember or talk about it. So I remember, I think AG, he went up to the podium about like 2 weeks ago, and he was kind of ripping Jets fans for giving them grief about, maybe the record last year. Like, hey, you want that to go away? Win games, that'll take care of itself. And then I kind of wanted to point toward the draft here. Absolutely love Joe Blewett. Shout out to that man. I love when he's on the show. He does such a good job. He actually gets me thinking about maybe potentially changing some of my draft picks, which I always enjoy because I am so hyped for this draft and next year. I think 5 first-round draft picks is unprecedented. I don't think that's ever been done in a 2-year span before, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Well, the Jets had 4 in 2000. So
4 in 2000. Yeah, Pennington.
2000. Yeah.
D-Brick. Oh, man. Oh, those were the glory days. Okay, so 4 is – so, okay, we'll be breaking our own record and still Super Bowl-less, so that's neat. No, the more I was
2001, didn't they have a first? So that would have been 5 over 2 years as well.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. I think you are right. So we tied it. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a good point there. But I think the more I was looking at it, I seen Schefter came out and was almost calling out Mike Florio, or Brian Flores, if you will, for something about Cardinal Tate's 40 time. I think it was like an official 454, and Shefty kept tweeting different times, and there were text messages, and he said and again. I think he was kind of coming after Florio a little bit there. It's kind of comical as I was watching the Pat McAfee show today. So I don't know if that 40 times down to a 4-4-ish, I'd be okay with Carnell Tate maybe at number 2. Then you got 3-4-4 guys. I think AD Mitchell was a 4-3-6 or something like that. I think it was faster than Garrett's. So you get those 3 guys, and with Mechie at 4th, it's kind of a bummer because I would love edge rusher at 2. I'd probably prefer edge rusher at 2, Reese, Bailey, any order, and then 16 maybe a lemon if he falls. I'm not sure if he will, or insert third best receiver at 16. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning. But if Tate is an actual I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him run another 40. If that's a 4-4-ish time, I'd definitely be okay with adding a weapon.
I like Tate. I don't think I'm taking him at 2. If he's there at 16, I'll take him. I'll take Lemon. I'd take Tyson if he falls because of the medical stuff. I would take him at 16. Give me a receiver at 16. I'm good with it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Receiver at 16 and then edge rusher at 2. I very much love that. 33. I'm wondering if whenever day 2 pops up, there's a team looking at 33 oh man, I really love this guy. I can't believe he fell to the second round. Does Muji receive phone calls for that 33rd pick?
Yes.
The more I definitely field calls because you got to. That's your job. But I would love to potentially make maybe move back off 33 if we can get that 3rd round, because I think we pick 44 in the 2nd, and I don't think is it 104 in the 4th. 44 to 104.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. It's
somewhere around there.
33, 44, 104.
Yeah, that's a big gap. If we could trade off 33 and do it for a 3rd rounder, I don't know who would, but
or move out of 16 and pick up a couple extra picks. Again,
16 too.
We spend so much time talking 2, 16, 33, 44. I'd be surprised given the resources the Jets have, and Muji's already shown you he's not afraid to make deals. I'd be surprised that they're actually picking where they are currently projected to pick.
Yeah.
They'll move around.
Yeah, I think so too. And Muji's kind of already proven that he can be kind of aggressive in a lot of his free agency and stuff. I'm very much excited for the draft. I think I'll take everything else off call. I'm excited for our Asmaniac Madness. I'm rooting for everybody. Love the Jets. Love you guys all so much. Thanks for being so kind to me, and have a good one, Jake.
You got it, Derek. Appreciate you. All right, we got time for 2 more calls, and then I got to run. I'm going to the Knicks game tonight as they play the defending champs at the Garden. Let's say hello to Barbarossa, and then One Punch Dave Brigham will close us out. Hello, Barbarossa.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Jake? So just a quick Jets point before I get into the other thing I want to say. When I was coming home from Mexico, the day we were traveling, I didn't get any sleep the night before, and that night I had a dream we drafted Sonny Styles second. I don't know what it means, but I didn't wake up screaming, like in a panic. So I guess I don't think it's that bad. But Arvell Reese, it's just there's a lot of projection with him. So I think there's going to be, we're going to have a good debate up until the draft on who we're going to pick. Because I don't know. I don't even know if they know. The second thing I want to say is, Jake, I haven't had anything to eat all day. I'm really hungry. And I heard about this new fast food place called PITTSBURGH. I was wondering if you wanted to try it out.
I would love to try a Beast Burger.
Yeah. Do you think we could pull up to PITTSBURGH and order a couple? Is the drive-through open?
I think we got to find out.
Yeah. All right. Oh man, but if so, my order, so Beast, I need 3 attic burgers, okay, medium raw. Jake, do you want a diarrhea cha-cha-cha? Because I'm gonna get one.
Give me a side of diarrhea cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, all right. So 2 diarrhea cha-cha-chas. I'll take some maga fries and an iron bed pie. Definitely one of those. Actually, you know what? Give me 2 unbreakable bed pies. You get all that, Beast? Yeah, I don't think you took my order. This is the worst fast food joint I've ever been to.
Hey, Barbarossa, I'll tell you what. We'll work on this. There's a bit of an echo, so I got to let you go. I also have to get another sponsor read in. We'll get the Dave Brigham right after these short words.
Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's ultimate taste tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
All right, we're back. Thank you very much to Barbarossa. Great call there. Enjoy your Beast Burger. Derek, the Jet fan, who had a good call, just gifted a membership.
Play call is my superpower, really.
And Derek's superpower is gifting. All right, here we go. Our final call today comes from none other than the great One Punch Dave Brigham.
He thinks that Gorman needs to get a freaking job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What they call him, One Punch Brigham. You need to get a job. What they call him, One Punch Brigham. The beast is on his ass. They call him One Punch Brigham. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him One Punch Brigham. You'll only need one.
Jake, good evening.
Good evening, Dave.
How's everything going? You can't make this one up, what I'm just going to tell you. I'm driving a prayer meeting, okay? So I have my phone on my car seat. I didn't even know I had the link on. Anyway, so I heard Barbarossa come on, so I quick pull over. Too bad he just came out. When I pulled over, here's a guy, pulls his car over, gets out of the car, and takes a leak right on the side of the car.
Jeez.
You can't make it up. So they're blaming Beast for that stuff.
Wow.
Anyway, you can't make this stuff up you see in the road today. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. What are you giving your old man a hard time or what?
Well, he did confuse Brian Flores for Mike Florio, so that is something that he'll have to deal with for a while. That was an all-timer.
He's a Lou Holtz fan, huh? Well, he was a nice guy, but he ranks with Don Shula in my book. He couldn't stand the heat, so he went out of the kitchen. Condolences to his family, but all is forgiven, but not forgotten.
I like it. Yeah. That's well said.
He couldn't stand the heat, man. He didn't even last a season. Even Glenn lasted a season.
he did last a season. You're not wrong.
Let's see about this one.
He's gonna have to do a lot more in year 2 to get another season after this one. That's for sure.
I've had a rough 2 days. Jake, I've had a rough 2 days. I wish I had the camera. I made a card deal, right? I had the manager, the sales manager, and the salesman all in the same room. They're trying to scam me. You know, you guys would have got a kick out of this one.
Oh, I
You
wish
know?
you recorded that. That would have been great.
Oh, if I did, I had to lock the door. I locked them in the room. You know, I had to lock them in to try to get the deal done. So anyway, then I had insurance issues today. You know, nobody knows their rear end from third base anymore. It's awful. It's just you can't get things done. It takes forever. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Asmaniac Madness. You know, we'll see how far I can get. You know, I'm not gonna try to get too. I'm not trying to get too fired up this year. Just gonna play it cool.
You got
know,
a
I can't.
puncher's chance, pun intended, Dave. I believe.
Oh, come on! I think I'm born on a puncher's chance. I was 15 last year. What they got me this year? 4.
You're way higher than that. Yeah. What
Yeah.
region are you in? You're in the Clifton region, right? I mean,
No,
you're
no, I'm with Gary. I'm with
you're
Gary.
Gary. Yes, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Gary. So you're a
We were-
4, Dave. Yeah, you versus Tommy in the opening round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tommy from Jersey City. 2 paisanis, me and him. You know. So I talked to Gary the other night. So I have to give Gary my votes this year.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we've come to a sort of truce, you know, as Christian brothers. So
We'll see
I
how long
told
that lasts. This tournament
I
could
told
change people.
well, you know, I have to look the other way, but I try to anyway. But we are, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, Gary, he's out there.
That we do.
How about everything else? When's it all start? Next tomorrow?
Free agency or the tournament?
No, the tournament. Free agency.
Yeah, tomorrow the play-in rounds will get underway. So we got 2 games tomorrow, 2 matchups tomorrow. We'll do the left side of the play-in bracket tomorrow. Carlos and Cash Money Mike, and then Man with Jets Tattoo and Leany on our second show.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope Leany gets in there. I like Leany. Remember in Tampa, she's a nice lady. Very
Leany's
nice lady.
great.
Yeah, we got some nice women. Not many, but you know, we got some nice women in that's Maniac Madness. So let's see what happens with free agency. I see this center from Washington they cut loose. Maybe we'll get him. Wanted to spend that much money. You know, what's his name? I can't even pronounce his name. Bayaditz or something like that. Tyler Bayaditz.
You're talking about the Commander
Well,
Center?
Yeah, the commies. The commies
Yeah.
center.
I don't know what his status is other than, you know, I saw he took a visit with the Bears already.
I think they said he's going to be cut in June. So I guess you can't. If that happens, he's not in free agency then.
So no, if he's designated for June 1, like he's gonna be available to sign.
Oh,
he was released with 1 year left on his deal, so he could sign with a team right away.
He used to play with the Cowboys, didn't he?
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah. Well, he'd be saving a lot more money than Tyler Linderbaum. You know?
Yeah, Linderbaum's going to probably be one of the highest paid free agents this offseason because that's assuming the Ravens don't get something done, which I wouldn't count it out.
Well, if they let him go, he's a free agent.
He will be a free agent Monday if they don't get a deal done, but they have till Monday to get a deal done. Remember the Jets, they got a deal done with Sherwood the night before free agency.
Oh, yeah, that was a mistake.
Yep.
Big mistake. Maybe Sal, could we send him to Sal, or what do you think? He took one guy out for it.
Yeah,
I feel bad. At least JJ was a nice fella. This Sherwood. I mean, he may be a nice guy, but he stinks, and he doesn't fit the scheme. Forget about it. He's got to go. After what I saw last year of that guy, it was horrid. I mean, Jake, you could have covered 2 receivers better than him. I know I probably could have if I still was 30. You know, some of these guys, you know, they're a joke what they get paid. And I mean, play action, the guy was like lost in space. It was ridiculous. I don't know.
I've never seen a defense worse than that. You can only go up from here, Dave.
All-time worst, man. All-time worst. I hope you're right. You know, I hope this is rock bottom. It better be, because I don't know how much more we could take. You know? I don't know how much more you could take.
It's I don't know.
You're bulletproof, man. You're bulletproof.
We're trying, Dave. We're trying.
You take a lot of heat. I can imagine when you go to these events, you know, like Rich Eisen, he looks defeated, man. That guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm glad you saw that. Rich is like love of the Jets is gone. Like you could see, like it's just like these last couple of years, like he doesn't have it in him anymore. Like he doesn't live and die with the team anymore. They've destroyed him.
Yeah, it happens, man. Hey, I feel, sometimes it's just this team takes the life out of you. I mean, the younger guys don't understand, because I don't know. You really have to, if you're hanging in like me over 60 years, I mean, it's a long time. It's a long time. And, you don't see, I think the biggest issue is when you don't see progress. If we see progress, it's different. But, it just steady declines year to year. It's like happens to Rich Eisen. Hey, it's all going to get to us someday. I mean, let's just hope we can turn the tide here, Jake. That's all. Well, that's
You're the man, Dave. Hey,
yeah.
Keep the positivity. I love it.
Well, we're going to prayer meeting, so God bless everyone.
God bless you, Dave. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, brother.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him one-punch Sprigger. The moon landing was raining. Call him one-punch Sprigger. His claim is not too dirty. Call him one-punch Sprigger. He did justice like his ass. One-punch Sprigger comes in loading me down.
Great call from Dave Brigger. Chef Kevin says, enjoy the game. Let's go, Knicks. Big one for the Knicks. Second night of a back-to-back. They're a bit of an underdog over on FanDuel. Knicks getting 4 tonight. No Mitchell Robinson because it is the second night of a back-to-back, which is unfortunate, but the Knicks did win last night, so that was key. We'll see how they look against, obviously, the defending champs.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chef Kevin. We only have 14 total raffle entries, so I'm going to postpone the raffle to tomorrow. We usually like to get at least 20 if we're going to do it. So we'll do one tomorrow on the show. I'll probably add a second prize as well for our morning stream. But again, thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Check out the Rich Samini conversation if you didn't get a chance to watch the first show. The full film reel with Joe was excellent today. We did Tavondre Sweat. So we gave you the newest Jet on film, and then Joe broke down Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles as well. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Please fill out your ASMANIAC Madness bracket. You're not going to want to miss it. You regularly watch the show, might as well fill out a bracket so you have rooting interests to follow along throughout the month of March. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. Again, thanks to our sponsors, and I'll leave you guys with a word from another one of our outstanding sponsors. As always, go Jets.
Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's Ultimate Taste Tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
That commercial is straight up shit. And I will find the son of a bitch whoever did that and break his goddamn neck. You know what I'm talking about. Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane, and if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets!